Battles of America, Fort Washington. On October 28, 1776, British Commander William Howe engaged and defeated the Continental Army in the Battle of White Plains, New York. This defeat for the Americans came on the heels of their retreat from New York City. Following this success, General Howe sought to take out the last colonial stronghold in Manhattan, Fort Washington. Forts Washington and Lee were located directly across the river from each other and built to defend Hudson Bay from British warships. Fort Washington, strategically placed at the highest point in Manhattan, was considered to be impenetrable by American General Nathaniel Greene, who convinced George Washington to not abandon the fort with the impending threat of attack. When Commander Howe ordered the American troops to surrender or die, Colonel Robert McGaw readily dismissed the threat, unaware that William Dumont, who had recently deserted to the British, provided them with the layout of the fort. On the morning of November 16, 1776, 8,000 British and Hessian soldiers descended on the fort. Using Dumont's traitorous information, Howe stormed the fort from the north, east, and south. Despite a valiant resistance, 3,000 patriots were no match for the British and their allies. One by one, the outer lines of defense were lost, causing the Patriots to retreat into the safety of the fort. The massive overcrowding so hampered the defenses inside the fort that by mid-afternoon, Colonel McGaw formally surrendered. Instead of enforcing their original threat of surrender or die, the British took 2,800 prisoners and commandeered the fort's weapons, provisions, and ammunition. Just 3 days later, General Washington abandoned Fort Lee and retreated toward the Delaware River, which would become the site of his iconic crossing of the Delaware into the Battle of Trenton. The American loss of Forts Washington and Lee was among the worst defeats suffered by the Patriots during the Revolutionary War.